Hi guys, I'm Uncle Richie.
Yo, what up? JMoney's back.
And this is C TEN. And you're listening to the Unkles Podcast.
And we're back. Thank you everyone for joining us again on episode 77. Today I got myself and JMoney in the building. How are you, brother?
Ooh, that was a good intro, bro. A lot of passion. Yeah, I'm really good, bro. It's been a big couple of weeks for us on the Uncles, but yeah, really good, really good. What about yourself? You recently went to Melbourne.
Yeah.
How was that, bro? Like a week away?
Yeah, bro. Went to Melbourne for work. Shout out to Strike.
Yes.
For getting us down there, but we went for a conference, a 2-day conference. So it was nice to, go on a business trip and meet some new people. Hopefully get some good deals from attending the conference.
Yep.
But all in all, great trip. Melbourne's so cold though.
Bro, it's 11 degrees right now. Shout out to Trevor. I just saw his Instagram story on this day that we're recording. But it's different weather down there, even though it's like going on to spring carnival right now.
Bro, crazy. It was, you needed a jacket to, go out and walk around. And I just kept thinking of Brizzy, how sunny and hot it is, and can't wait to get back.
Yeah.
And now I'm here.
Yes, sir. Bro, I actually saw your Instagram story with the food.
Yeah.
Oh man, that steak. It looked like a good trip, and glad to see that you went and saw like this different side of Melbourne after your work hours, which it would have been great.
Yeah, it was nice. 600 gram ribeye.
Did you? You shared it between
we
two.
Shared it. Yeah. There was no way I was gonna have it myself.
600 grams.
600 grams of just yummy steak. But I also, you guys, bro, you and Charles, but also yourself, really busy with the Uncles, first with PNG Golf Association, their ball, and then QUTPNG SA Sumatin networking night.
Yeah,
bro, how was that?
Bro, honestly, it's so good to see the good things that some of the people in the PNG diaspora, particularly here in Brisbane, that are doing. Like I went to the ball and hadn't gone. Obviously, I'm from Gulf and I should support more, but this is sort of the start of us, doing more for things like that. But it was really good night. Shout out to Elizabeth Kent. She did such a great job, organizing the whole thing alongside everyone else from the Gulf Association, Queensland team, and I think they did a humongous job. Like the governor of Gulf Province was also down there, as well as the PNG Consul General, and then they had the president of the East New Britain Federation or Association too as well.
Yep.
There. So, and then they flew down Lawrence Lahari, which I had a chat to him. I'm pretty sure you know him as well.
Yeah.
He was the auctioneer of the night too as well. And bro, like you'll see in the vlog, but he's obviously got a lot of years of experience, the way he knows how to handle a crowd and just how charismatic he is. And when he went up there, like he asked people, "G'day, good night, everyone. How's everyone?" No one gave him something. He went again, and then everyone gave him something. So I think it's just like you got to read the room. And but really, really lovely night. And there was an auction that was done, which raised a lot of money. I think it was around 9,500 from 3 pieces of items. So one was Xavier Coates' Melbourne Storm jersey signed by the entire Melbourne Storm team. The other one was a jewelry donated by PNG Jewelry, and then another one, which was the main sort of piece of getting auctioned for that evening, was art by Jordan Morris or Grim Jordan.
Yep.
But it was honestly the story behind the artwork too as well. He spends a lot of time looking at stories that have meaning and things like that. And then, funny enough, at the Sumatin networking night too as well, and Jordan was also there.
Hey.
Shout out Jordan. And then, he also talked about his experience of, what he did to sort of go do the artwork that he does, but also like his 9 to 5 too as well, and then now transitioning back to doing his art full time. And I think, it was a really, really good night, those two things. And it's so which it ties to kind of my word of the week too as well. Following those two things was like hamamas. Like I think the biggest thing, and hamamas for those that are listening and don't know the translation from an English speaking background, is it means happy, or like, you know, you're proud, I guess, in a way of seeing these things. And I think I was just so happy to kind of see the great work that the PNG Gulf Association Queensland are doing to raise funds for people back home, and to be part of it in the slightest way possible. And outside of that, going to QUT and helping out with the Sumatin networking night for the QUT PNG Association, and just seeing the amount of, you know, people invested in their careers, and like also being alongside some of the panelists who are lawyers. And we also had Amelia Cook, who was a guest on the podcast, where she represented, you know, 3 different national teams, 2 from PNG, 1 from Australia, won a premiership with the Brisbane Broncos women's team, and represented Queensland in the state of origin. So it was just good to see just the amazing things that so many people from PNG are doing here in Brisbane, and just made me proud to be from PNG. So sorry, that was a long answer.
No, that's perfect. To give our viewers and listeners some I guess information on what's happening in you know, the circles here, and you know, you as well, you know, to be a part of you know, MCing the night, and also being a panelist on the at the networking night, just shows, you know, where you're at, I think, at this stage of your life, and you know, how far we've come with the podcast. So shout outs to you, bro.
No, thank you, bro. Like shout out to Chucky too as well, who was MC'd on the night too as well. And I think it was just good also, like we made connections with other people, and everyone knew Charles because they're like, hey, why aren't you DJing tonight? But yeah, thank you, bro. I think the biggest thing too as well is we want to use this podcast to help support, you know, PNG, and whether it's by helping students or giving them advice from a career perspective, or jumping in and doing as little as, like, you know, MCing for the night for an event like that, which goes to kind of show that ultimately the end goal is we want to promote PNG in a way that shares people's diverse stories, but also show to the world, like, you know, how we all should be proud of our culture from PNG. And I think there's some people that might be half PNG, for example, Xavier Coates, where, you know, they can come and listen to our podcast to kind of also reconnect with their culture. But then we also use this as a platform to promote PNG in a way to the outside world, and showcase the amazing things that people are doing here in Brisbane and, you know, other places. But
bro, I think going off your word of the week, which was hamamas, my word would definitely be one bell. And in the English translation for that would be, you know, I don't know, grateful, or
content.
So one bell. I just think, you know, the last few weeks posting stuff on the uncles, like obviously posting you and Chucky's night at the Gala Ball, and then you know, seeing your stuff with QUTPNG GSA, giving back basically. You know, me just one bell straight, looking you, you know, doing your thing, and seeing us out there really with the community, and really showcasing the uncles. So I think that's a great word for you know, the past week.
That is, bro. And I haven't had that word in a long time, one bell, because I think growing up too as well, like in PNG, you'd have like you'd play with someone and you'd disagree with them, but then you'd be like, no, what I mean, one bell, one day. You're like, I'm all right with that. Like, you know, so I think it just, but going back to, sorry, that was a bit of a tangent, but going back to, just the content we're pushing out and stuff like that. Like, we've just demonstrated there's another side of the uncle that we can, the Uncles podcast, that we want to tap into too as well, which, you know, one, obviously doing the podcast, but second to that, supporting just, and the old catalog of imagery and videos that we posted, it's doing that thing of showing to our followers, and hopefully, you know, more people follow us to kind of see what we're doing there. But great word of the week. That was good.
Yeah, bro. So like moving on, I think this episode we wanted to just discuss some of our favorite pidgin words, Tok Pisin words, but also phrases. Some that, take us back to our childhood, because we both were born and raised there, and a big chunk of our life was spent back in Papua New Guinea, and we both, know our language, Tok Pisin. So I guess what really brought it along was Michael's episode last week, where he talked about one of the proudest moments of his life was actually seeing a study that was done in Europe, somewhere in Europe, where they said Tok Pisin was the most beautiful language they had when compared to other languages. And he went on and he published an article, and he said in that episode that it to date, it was one of ABC Pacific's biggest, or I guess
had the most amount of impressions. People engagement was probably
it was one of the most well performing pieces that they've done. So bro, let's get into a few of those. But I mean, you spoke to Michael on the episode. Was there anything that he mentioned that I missed out there? Or?
No, he just talked about how, because we've got 800 different dialects, there's one that connects all the regions together.
Yes.
And I think that's another thing as well from his perspective, which shows that this language is able to do that, but also has different sounds and words that are completely different from, the native tongue that's spoken in the Gulf province, which is Tuaripi, or whenever you go somewhere else. So I think, it's just touching on how one sort of Tok Pisin or Pidgin English just connects these 800 different dialects through that one particular dialect, which is, was another interesting fact he called out.
Yeah. And that's, it's just crazy. Like, there's so many different languages, and I think that's what sort of halted the progress of the nation as well. Like trying to listen or speak to people who have, completely different cultures and languages, and trying to put them under one roof and, make decisions is always going to be a challenge. Whereas you look at, like a society like Australia or New Zealand, like, they've only got one language, which is English, and everyone's, can understand it. In New Zealand, like, it's English and Maori, but it's not like the Maoris have 800 different languages. They've got the one language, which, if you go to the North Island and you go to South Island, they speak that same Maori language. So there's always going to be challenges, but we're not here today to discuss the challenges. We're here to discuss some of our favorite Tok Pisin words, baby. Let's go.
Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, bro. This is a funny one, and I spoke to you about it before the episode, but I'm pretty sure my sister taught this one to my partner Liv, but her favorite saying, I don't know why. I mean, I think I know why, but it's Nogatsem Luyu. So whenever I do something or say something, she always just has a smile on her face or smirks and says "Nogatsim Luyu."
An English translation for those playing at home that might not know.
Yeah, so Nogatsim Luyu is like
shame on you.
Jeez, no, like shame on you, shame on you.
Why did you do that? It's a sort of throwaway, which is it's a good It's a muck around thing, but when your parents get mad at you back home in PNG,
bloody butter thongs, butter slippers,
bro, they were sick,
bro, rubber hose, wooden spoon, anything they could find. Bloody hell.
One for me is like gona waswas.
Hey. You stink, gona waswas.
That's just it's not so much favorite, but it just brings a lot of nostalgia. You'd play at home when you're growing up in PNG, and then it comes to like 6 p.m. and then you go home and they're like, oh, you're gonna waswas, you're sweating, you're like, go and have a shower. It just sort of reminds me so much of you finish playing any sport, like touch rugby, and Like, you know, it's just sort of that one that brings a lot of nostalgia back to me.
Yeah, shit. That's a really good one. I think a big one, and I was looking at this because we did an episode way back of like you know, you're from PNG when?
Yeah.
And I've been looking at some of those videos and reposting just on my personal page on TikTok. But a big one was the word, or when people say this expression, bro, it's like the only, like I've never heard any other sort of culture or language say whoosh, but for some reason PNG, it's just like an expression.
No, it is.
It's so funny.
It
so
is.
Like, whoosh. Lucy me.
That's another good one. Leave me alone. I kind of, another one that I really like is why Banogad. Like, you know, like why no, or like why can't I do it, kind of thing, and which is it's really something that you should kind of always back yourself, and you know, like why can't I do this, or like whenever people ask you like, oh, why are you doing that, like why can't I do that, you know? So I think it's more when I chatted to the people at the Sumatin night for the PNG QT Association, they had a question that really opened my mind, and they said, you know, coming from a PNG background, like what are some of the challenges that you face going into the workplace, and what are some of the things that you had to change from your PNG upbringing to fit into the society or the workplace that you're in? And the way that I kind of answered that question is like, you bring your own perspective, right? Which touches on Michael's point last week on the episode of his word of the week. Your perspective offers its own value to the business, and I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, but yeah, like you're hired because you bring your own perspective. You culturally fit into the business, so your upbringing shapes who you are as a person. You shouldn't change that to fit into something, because people have brought you in because they believe in you and they see that, you know, what you're offering is the right fit for their business.
100%, bro.
But yeah, why Banogat is
why Banogat, and it's used also in a funny way too, like, you know, if you someone saying, oh, Mila Golo Lamanan, no, and then someone will say, why Bano?
Here we go.
And I think, you know, that another good one is, you know, walk must go yet.
Yes.
You know, if you are going out clubbing or doing things, you know, you got to wake up the next day and you know, continue on and walk must go yet,
exactly,
as they say. And we're not doing a very good job here for our non-Tok Pisin listeners, but walk must go yet means, you know, the job must go on, or like work continues,
exactly.
Yeah, so whatever you do, you know, walk must go yet, but you know, hopefully in the near future we can retire and walk must stop.
Bro, building on that one, this is not a saying, but it's a word. I really like this word. It's called numbis. Rachel, my partner, I asked her the word, what do you think numbis means? And she goes to me, none of your business. Like, she thought the word numbis sounded like none of your business.
It's like abbreviated.
But it just means beach or ocean. But I think to your point around walking my square, there'll be a time when we'll be retiring on the numbis. Just chilling back.
And I went, bro, as soon as you said numbers, I thought of this phrase, Salim Ting Ting.
Oh yeah.
The thing, it will go, you know, retire, you go to numbers, nabai sira la numbers, na Salim Ting Ting. But Salim Ting Ting is basically daydreaming.
Just
it means daydreaming. So, but it's used. The pidgin language is it's really interesting, and I think it's beautiful because some of the words have different meanings. It just depends on how you use them within the sentence. So, like, you know, some people say Salim Migo Salim Ting Ting, or they use it as, it can be used as serious, Or it can be used in a joking way,
Right,
like,
yeah.
shh, no one's saying anything.
Oh, you're selling in Los Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, bro, that's
a good-
definitely another one.
Yeah. I'm just gonna drop a few words now because I can't think of phrases, but
Yeah.
there's one that I asked my work. So at my work, I did this question because I wanted to do about me.
Yeah.
And I put 5 PNG words. One of them was Numbis. The other one was one talk, and I asked them what they think one talk meant.
Yeah.
And then no one could answer it, but I love one talk because it's just like, it doesn't sound like relative at all. No, but that's what it means, like
Yeah.
relative. But then also at the same time, like when you see another PNG person, you're not like, when you're in Brisbane, you don't have to feel like you're related to them, but you're like, that's a one talk, like we're from the same country kind of thing. So like, I think there's another one that I really like one talk.
That's a good word. And I'm pretty sure some of the other Melanesian countries as well.
Oh,
like
yeah?
Solomon Islands, they have one talk.
Okay,
But it's spelled differently, I think.
Yes, yeah.
But same sort of meaning.
Yeah.
Broken English. But the other one, this is probably not a word, but I guess it's a noun in Tok Pisin, but bubu.
Oh,
Bubu, yeah. So
yes.
bubu is your, grandparents,
Yes.
grandmother, grandfather.
Yeah.
It's a word, we call our grandparents. And it's just funny because, when Liv and I started dating, then I would always refer to my grandparents as bubu, and she just thought it was like a funny word.
Oh, you hate yourself and you
got a bubu.
Bro, I said that too as well. And Rachel's nephew, he was like, I don't have a boo. Like, he thought he had himself. I was like, I don't have a boo-boo.
I don't have a boo-boo.
But bro, those are some really good words. I don't think I have any other ones because I think that just
Man, we're all Tok Pisin out.
Tok Pisin. But like, I reckon one of the good guests that I'd love to have on the podcast is like a linguistic.
Yeah.
Is that what their professions are? But just to come and have a chat about Tok Pisin, because I'm currently reading this book at the moment. It's a biography or memoir of Lady Carol Kidu.
Ooh, nice.
Which I touched on the podcast with her briefly later, or like ages ago. But yeah, I recently, when I went back to PNG, I picked it up because it was at my house and just reading her story and stuff like that. And she went back to PNG and had to learn two dialects. One being Motu.
Motu, yeah.
Because her husband was from Pari village, which they speak a lot of Motu there. And then she also had to learn Tok Pisin. So I'd love to sort of speak to someone about there's just one country and 800 different dialects, and just want to know how that came about, which would be interesting to kind of, as someone from here going back to PNG, not knowing, travel up the road and you're in another place.
Well, I've actually seen. Have you seen David Mead's posts? He's really getting into his Tok Pisin and Motu.
Yeah, okay.
So he's doing videos in Tok Pisin and Motu as well.
Yeah.
So he's trying to learn both languages because obviously he's been away for so long.
Yeah.
So he's trying to, reconnect with his culture, and I think that's just that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
To see him do that, and hopefully he can be the expert that comes onto the uncles.
Oh, shit. David, just jump on,
shout out. Anyone know David Mead?
Yeah.
Let him know. The uncles are keen now.
Yeah.
We're ready. We're ready to go.
We're ready. Well, bro, I think before we wrap up,
yes,
we've got the
hey.
match. So I just wanted to,
guys,
touch base on that a little bit.
Yeah, have a good look at Jackman because he's wearing the unisex heavy tee. That's black vintage with the original Uncles logo on the chest there. Jackman, tell us how it fits because Jackman's 6'4". For those of you who don't know, big guy, tall, handsome.
Thanks. No.
He's blushing.
No, it feels really good, bro. Like the material's not too heavyweight. If you sweat, it won't let hair come in. I think the next iteration I also want to try out is like the airism sort of thing, if we can look into that too as well, because the Uniqlo brand here in Australia, like they do that and it sweats really well. So I think this is obviously a little bit thicker, but it fits well on me because I do feel like, and I also like the collar on the shirt too as well. And because the heavy tee is, because if you have broad shoulders, not like I don't have broad shoulders, like, but if you do, it just sits on it so much better, and it like, you know, it feels, the wear on it feels really good. So no, really loving it. And then also the surf caps.
Yeah,
you know what, the khaki one looks good.
Khaki one looks clean. Yeah.
And this is the Avery, is it? Or what is it called?
So this one's I think just stone or sand.
Sand. Okay.
But yeah, that's one of the caps we've got on sale. Jackman's wearing now. It's got a different logo, which is I think what makes the caps, you know, a bit different there, because it's got the uncles and our famous slogan, which is PNG's #1 export. So guys, hop onto the uncles.com. And grab some merch there.
Yes.
If you are in PNG and you want to grab something, maybe just shoot us a message.
Yeah.
And you know, we can figure out how we can get that to you. But also want to say massive, you know, big thanks to Gus as well, who's you know, Jackman's friend, but become a friend of the uncles now, and he designed all our logos, and they're sitting perfectly on all our merch now. So thanks, Gussie.
Yeah, thanks, Gussie. He also does his own stuff too as well, called Someday. So yeah, check that out too as well if you're interested in seeing some of the cool designs that he's put on his stuff too as well. So yeah, shout out, Gus.
Shout out, Gus. Awesome, bro.
Well, let's go.
We're done now. Tok Pisin. Guys, thank you for everything.
You me catch.
up.